That's a brand I could be proud of, man. A brand you could trust. Crypto Lifer, baby. Let's go. Shout out to everybody here on the live. You see to make sure I got myself situated here. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. I'm wearing a denim. This is denim. It's kind of nice, actually. I like it. Got this denim suit a while back. Shout out to everybody here on the live. I know you don't care. So sorry. So sorry. So sorry. No, shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. I'm in a short. I've been in a short since last night. I think I was down $500 in a couple times in the drawdown. 76,600 for Bitcoin. Are we going lower? And they keep playing with the price. If you're on the 1 minute time frame, you've been crushed. I've been seeing them whip it and dip it. I'm short. This is a bear flag to me below the 200 moving average. Says it's going lower to 73.8. I'm in a short right now. And I'm like 1,000 for 5,000 on the trade. It's a pretty big trade, I believe. I thought it was a bigger trade than that. I thought it was a $300,000 trade. Okay. But, yeah. So $3,000 in at 23x leverage, $77,000 trade. Let's see what happens. But I am short right now for Bitcoin, just to let you know what's going down. If I can stop drawing on the chart. There we go. And, you know, I see it could be a bit of a diamond, but I don't know, man. I'm leaning towards the traditional bear flag here, keeping it real. I should short it. You know, if I saw that long, I would long it, right? If I was in a flag above the 200. So I got to short the price action. Nice enough to give you guys exactly what I'm doing without, you know, without holding back. Just show you, hey, man, this is what I see happening. And this is what I see likely going down. This is where I'm putting my money. You do what you want to do. And this will definitely hurt all coins. You know, certain, maybe some AI coins, a couple little things here and there will pop. But for the most part, this will destroy most altcoins. And, you know, it's definitely a short. So right now I am short on Bitcoin. I tell you, I just flipped green. A couple times we've been up maybe 100. This has been back and forth all morning, really, like this. I was in the money there, out of the money, in the money, out of the money. I'm back in the money again. This is upside down. Sorry. There you go. Anyway, let's do our top-down analysis for you like we do every single day here. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show. So right off the bat, we give you a live trade with a stop loss and everything. Stop is above the wick there, anywhere above 777777, quadruple sevens or quintuplet sevens, and then a target down to about 73,800 for Bitcoin. So that's kind of what I see happening. You do you, I'll do me. But I'll at least share what I'm doing with you every single day. We're going to delete this now. But just so you know, that's what I gave you. And that's in the trading group too as well. I said I'm short. You know, I mean, I don't go back and forth here. So the monthly was looking beautiful. 3 white soldiers in a row, looking like a beautiful white green candle, white candle, beautiful white soldiers, beautiful white soldier candle, beautiful green candle there on the monthly, and things are looking good. We did break up on the monthly. It was only like the 11th to 6th, and we had already started to pump. And then somewhere halfway through May here, last couple days, we've gotten a nasty pullback. The daily hit the 200, and it's threatening to close a bearish monthly candle here for Bitcoin. It's not going to be a good candle with a massive wick down. That's a bearish pin bar for BTC. We're up 164 in the trade, starting to move here. I told you I'm the king of 3%. We'll see what happens, though. It's been swinging around. I don't trust any movement today on this price action. You got Iran and you know, playing games. Is Trump going to drop more? What's going on? They got a lot of issues there. And then you have issues with the gold market and the silver market. What happened to gold and silver? If I'm correct, it looks like gold just took a beat down, lost $80 million or $800 billion out of gold and silver in a heartbeat. Gold just took a beat down out of nowhere. I still see it in a bigger channel, though, over time. But right now, gold and I believe silver also just took a beat down. Yeah, silver and gold just took a nasty, you know, the last, I don't know, 10, 12 hours have lost a substantial amount in market cap. Still looks like they're kind of double bottoming it down here. But just something to think about there. Now the short is starting to pay, folks. 285. Let the rain come, baby. Let it dump. Dump it down. We're in the green here on the short. Shout out to my lifers. Who's getting paid right now on the short with the lifers? Put a 333 if you're making money. Man, reason why gold. The bond yield is up. Yeah, the bond yield is going up. So people are dumping the gold. That's what I like about Bitcoin. It doesn't really have issues with the bond. You know what I mean? It does its thing regardless. Shout out to anyone on BTCC. All right. And God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate you all for being here and hanging out with the lifers. I just wanted one thing to talk about here, which was you could win a Rolex with the lifer, man, if you trade on BTCC in 12 days. Trade and win a Rolex, and you could trade gold, silver, Bitcoin, you name it, all right here. And we're giving away 3. A date, another date, right? Or no, actually, it's just a date. Date just. That's a date just because it just has the date. That's the one I owed. And then a Air King. Pretty cool, man. So check it out. 3 rollies. Sign up and deposit. Trade futures on BTC. 3 random traders will be announced as winners on, might be June 1st now. It says June 7th, but it should be the 1st in 12 days at the end of June. But maybe they announce it on June 7th. Anyway. Thank you so much. And if you want to fund yourself and get funded, you want a bigger account. Like right now, look, I'm realized profit up $1,000 on my $100,000 account. It's 1%, but hey, I haven't lost one trade on my BitFunded account. Not one, which is kind of crazy. But if you want more money, you want access to more, and you want some good payouts, go to BitFunded where you can access funding, all right? And, I'm not a huge fan of funding. It's not like a biggest thing, but it's just it's there for you. Say you see me making a big trade and you knew you would have made the same trade as me. You don't have access to the funds. You can jump on into BitFunded right now and get those funds. All right. Link in the description to BitFunded. Check it out today. And you can see I'm grooving on BitFunded. I have realized profits of $1,000. I could take 800 in a payout on my 80% ratio there. Get paid off of someone else's money. Never used my own money to make the money. Short looks like it's continuing to be in the monies. So far, so good on the short. We're up 9% now, $339 on the short as it continues to dump here. Imagine making an extra $300 while you're at work today. I can teach you how to do that if you hang out with the Crypto Lifer. You have to have patience, though. I was down $500 a couple times. It didn't go perfectly the whole entire time. Oh, my whole screen ain't big there. Yeah, sorry. So the monthly, not looking amazing for BTC right off the bat. We got to be honest with ourselves here. And I think I'm a little far into the screen for whatever reason. But anyway, the monthly not looking amazing. If that closes, it's slowly going to close a bearish candle. That closes bearish. I mean, I have to flip more bearish. I still assume that we're okay as long as we stay above monthly resistance, which was turned into support at 71,280. As long as we stay above 71,280, you got to remain somewhat support. I mean, we did lose this resistance. We got back above it. There's a chance this flips green again and everything kind of goes back to normal. And this is just a way to induce a bunch of shorts. But, I mean, we got to take it for what it is, right? So I believe swing trading is the best, man. We get the biggest moves. We don't have to hodl. We don't have to sit there and, I hodl Bitcoin, but I don't hodl my leverage positions. I'm not sitting there holding them for weeks. This has to be the right. I have to be right. No, I just got to be right. Like my biggest call recently was this hidden bullish divergence right here. I went so long there. And again, look, had you not paid the trader, you'd be back to break even now. And you'd been holding that trade since the 30th of April, since the day I left Vegas, right? So, and man, I made a boatload in Vegas. Shout out to anyone that took my calls while I was in Vegas. I made a boatload in Miami. I made more in Vegas than Miami, but still, I haven't given any of those gains back. I've been doing very well. I've been just cautiously trading lightly and taking what the market gives me. But anyway, let's get back into the monthly here. So first things first is I don't love the monthly candle. It doesn't look amazing. That's not a bullish close. If it closes like that, we need to turn that back into green. But so far, it's looking like we're getting demolished here, and we're going to go lower. Same thing here on the 2-week chart. That's a bearish engulfing candle now, 5 days and 10 hours. You know, I always like it that it starts red at the beginning of the 2-week chart, and eventually you're going to get the push further. But man, you know, it's just that's going to close a bearish engulfing candle, and I got to start thinking that you're going to come down to the bottom of the falling wedge. You got to start thinking that this is in and of itself a bear flag, and it has a measured move further to the downside, which would take it somewhere to about $52,000 BTC. I've been having this up here recently, and I'll start another poll today. 100K or 54K for BTC, right? And we'll put 104K. We'll put 54K. I wonder even if it's the first question. Like if I put 54 first, if it matters. But I'm always thinking about stuff like that. All right, but answer the poll for me. I'd greatly appreciate it. Do you think we're going to go to 100K or 54,000 first? And hit the link here if you want to join or trade what we trade to Weeks, BTCC, or Pionex. I greatly appreciate that. We recently have this smaller Pionex trade. And why do they keep signing me out of Pionex? Keep me in Pionex, man. I don't got to sign out every 5 seconds. Got so many exchanges. Helps me out when I stay in, you know. But anyway, it is good security, so. But, you know, the 2-week chart, I mean, that says it could head down the next leg to 52,000. I'm not saying that's going there for sure, but, right? Open a long position on Bitcoin. I'll buy here. Interesting. My man's buying into a long as we break out of a bear flag. Wow. Hey, whatever makes you happy. I would buy long term, like a DCA. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. This is a reality TV show of my life, folks. I just happen to be a live streamer, but this is really reality TV. This is like kick streaming. I'm just here for 2 hours in front of my computer every single day. Why is it easier for things to dump versus pumping? So annoying. It's just the way the trend is, man. We had beautiful pumps the other day, you know, the other way. So anyway, the weekly has breached the trend line. We've closed a tweezer top. That's bearish. You have to assume we're now, just like when we closed a tweezer bottom, we started to move up. Same thing with the 5-day chart. We're still bouncing off that 200 moving average. There's a chance we could get saved here. Previous resistance becomes support. There's a chance here on the 3-day chart too, but it's looking bearish. Our Hail Mary idea is that this makes some type of ascending cup and handle. We spend maybe 6 more days making 2 3-day candles here. We wick maybe below, but we never close below, and we get a bounce further to the upside. Yeah, just open along with the tight stop loss. Interesting. Hey, maybe you got it. I don't know. I'm not a soothsayer. I don't know. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I have no idea where Bitcoin's going to go, folks. No clue at all. But I do have a general idea over time it's going to go up because they're going to continue to print money, right? Interesting. Hey, Sam, what's your thoughts on yeah, I just don't promote things I don't know about. Yeah, so I'm not going to even repeat it. Yeah, I don't know about them. I've never dealt with them. That's like, hey, my buddy uses this mechanic. Do you want to talk about him? And I'm like, I don't know the mechanic. I've never fixed my car. I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? We go into the 50s. I prefer trading NQ now. You could trade anything you want. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but you're going to trade the same. You can use the signals and trade them exactly the same. Doesn't mean they're going to go the same on every day, but the signals are the same, you know? How I teach you how to trade Bitcoin is the same way I can teach you how to trade the NASDAQ. You can trade any asset in the world with the way I teach you how to trade. So previous support as resistance may hold here at 75,000. It's not over just yet. Same thing here on the daily, but now, I mean, shoulder had right shoulder. We had the right shoulders. We had the dump. Shout out to anyone that had conviction in that short and made some good money sitting there for 4 days just getting paid. You know, it was a lot of back and forth, though, but, you know, you're paid now in that short. It is, do you stay in the short for more or do you start taking profits? You know, you lost some key support and resistance levels here, too. You didn't even dabble with it. I can't believe you didn't even bounce off these, you know? And we got Modern Canadian, Modern Sword, my man. Grateful for the value and education you provide. Can you please look at WTI oil? We'll take a look at WTI oil for sure. Yeah. That crude oil, baby, that crude oil. It's spot on CFI. Sitting at 107, you know, it's in a nice little tight flag there on the 1 hour time frame. And if they're going to start beefing up this war again and getting crazy, that's what we're starting to hear, oil looks like it is going to start to pump, right? Let's take a look at it on the 4 hour and the daily. But I mean, it's above the 200, touching the 21 in consolidation. To me, I mean, I've traded this exact setup many times in my life and made gains. But 160, that's a little much. Hold on. Let's just start with the first base case here. We had somewhere to 147 there for BTC, you know. Stop loss somewhere below, you know, if you can get below that low, but it's a 2-to-1, somewhere in there though. And again, put your stop loss wherever you feel comfortable. Please don't take other people's stop losses because, but look at that. I mean, that looks beautiful to me on the 4 hour. Look at on the daily. The daily's pushing up on the stochastics. RSI, MACD, everything says yes. So oil to me is about to rip on the daily time frame. It's in a bull pennant, about to do damage. I'd be surprised if oil dumps on us here. So this is telling me that Bitcoin's in for a dumpy. And Bitcoin just closed the candle outside the range, folks. That candle was a substantial candle close. To me, it tells me we may follow through. We'll see if we can get a green next to a red here. Is this the 1 hour? 15 minute? Still a bearish close here as you closed outside of support. You see, you just closed this candle outside support, suggesting that the next candle will take out the next support or at least go and test it. That's how trading is, man. Once you lose support, you go to the next support. What's the word? Shout out to Stack in the house, man. Holding it down. God bless you, Stack, man. I was reading your comments today in the 99. Hope everything goes well with your physical therapy, bro, and you get back in action. I can only imagine, as I've now had to dealt with physical therapy. And I had a doctor's appointment this morning. I didn't get to do my update. It was like 7:45. It was real early. I had to drive there at 8 and then deal with all that and sit there and go through it all. But I'll tell you guys, if you care, I'll tell you guys what happened to my leg and where I'm at with it. I don't want to waste your time, though, and, talk about my physical stuff and go, working out while we're here. I can work out on my own time. You know what I mean? I can work out on my own time. I'm here for you right now and the charts. I don't want any distractions. I don't want to be like lifting a weight while I'm, what if I was doing this the whole time? I was just like, so guys, how's it going? Basically, because I just had to double up my workout with my TA every single day. I could never give you my full time. It wasn't about you. It was about me the whole time, right? It's about you guys, man. It's about each and every one of you. I want to give you all of my full-blown attention. Every single time I'm here, I don't want to be doing 10 things at once. You know what I mean? That looks interesting to me. I have to be honest. Let's take a look at, even the 21 on the 3-day. And the 3-day says yes. So, dude, you're spot on, man. There's no even bear div. Like, oil's about to rock. I believe we should put a fat trade in for oil. That 3-day looks good to me. It says oil could go back up to 150, 146. So, again, maybe I'm wrong and it makes a turn and everything changes. But, man, that crude, man. And I'm telling you, man, if you start trading, and girls, guys and girls out there, if you start trading the 3-day chart, it's going to open up your life. You're going to see things so differently if you trade that 3-day. And see, look how we're collapsing further down, just as I suggested we would here. On that 15-minute, we're now in the money further into the trade. I'd like to close this one in the green. And shout out to my lifers. If you took the trade, you're in the green. It's what I do every day. I trade 90% of the time. When I assess the market, I expect to be correct. At least 90% of the time, maybe 99, No, seriously, though, as pompous as that sounds, I really want to make sure I hit. Okay, so our hope is that the daily somehow bounces here off of this previous supported resistance. We get a really strong inclination here to bounce. And if not there, then there. What do you mean resistance, chop, bounce? A little more than these two. Come on, man. You're not going to at least bounce right there? Then take it out? You didn't even bounce off this resistance or this resistance? It's kind of crazy. No love in the resistance there? Nothing. I mean, a little bit of a bounce. We did. We bounced there and then we got, yeah. So our, you know, we're going to double bottom here. You know, basically the hope for the bulls. Well, nasty dump there for BTC. Now we're in there in 10% of the trade. Imagine making $389 off of $3,300. 11%. And you're in the money now. Look, imagine making $400 today sitting at your house. I used to make this exact amount of money. I used to make $350, maybe $400, but before taxes, I had to pay taxes on that money. I had to get on a bicycle, carry it down my stairs, carry it up a set of stairs, get on a train, take the train. And I had an easy commute compared to most people. Take the train only 11 minutes through Penn Station, carry it up some stairs again, carry it back up another set of stairs because the first set of stairs only brought me from the train back into the station, and then ride my bike, you know, from 31st Street, 32nd Street there because it spans 31 through 34. It's like a 3-block station, and ride my bike to 19th, where I worked at 19th and 5th for about 5 years at night. I worked a night shift, everybody. A lot of people don't know this about me. I worked a night shift from 31 to 36 years old. I got into work at 7, but I started getting in late about 8:30 because we had a cool little deal. The guy I was working with, he had been there and they kept going through night shift guys. They weren't working out. And he worked out. So they were like, yo, tell us if this next night shift guy works out. He assessed me after 2 weeks. He said, this guy's working out. He's you know. And we became fast friends. We realized that we had to trust each other because we were at night. And within 2 weeks, we were both pretty cool with each other. And, yeah. And so he would say, dude, I'm supposed to be in at 8. He was supposed to be in at 8, and he was supposed to leave at 4 in the morning. He was supposed to be in at like 8:30 and leave at 4:30. You know what I mean? And I was supposed to be in at 7:30 and leave at 3:30. Or 7 and leave at 3, something like that. We were staggered. But, you know, the boss would leave. Sometimes the boss would stay there till 9, right, working on stuff. And if the boss was there and his coat was there at like 7:45, I knew that like he was probably going to stay later. So I'd look for his coat. If the coat was gone, I'd text my buddy and be like, dude, he's out. And my buddy's like, all right, I'm going to party till like 11, 12 tonight. I'll probably get in at 12:30, he'd tell me. So he knew he had the whole night to party all night. And then he'd just work from like 12 to 4:30, right? And then I would work from 7, and it basically for me letting him come in late, he would let me out early. You see? So we would look at the whole thing and he'd be like, all right. And we knew what we had to do. So we'd look at the list and he goes, all right, get this, and this done. And you can go home. I'll take care of the rest. And I was like, all right, man, bet. And we ran that for like 5 years, man. I worked for 4 hours a night for a long time. So the night shift, I make it sound hard, but I made it work for me too. I was hustling on the side. I was doing about, and it was awesome. It was awesome. So anyway, a little bit of my story. I worked a night shift. Shout out to my man, Thomas Peralta. He's like a video editor. We were in post-production. I wonder if he's out there anywhere. There he is, Thomas Peralta, editor. This is my buddy, man. This is my man, Thomas, man. Tomas, you know. But dude, we became best friends, best buddies, man. Shout out to Tomas. And look, he's editing at AMC right now. He's doing his thing, bro. He did The Walking Dead, right? Like, he's a big time editor now, so. And we worked our way up for years. We were working for Netflix. You can see this, you know. And he went to Jersey City, man. This dude came from very humble beginnings, my man Tomas, and worked his way up to get where he's at today, man. He helped me so much. I never would have lasted on that night shift if he wasn't there for me. Miss you, Tomas. Anyway, nobody cares about my life and Tomas. I mean, you guys do. I don't want to be rude, but you're here for the charts, so. I'll tell you, I already gave you the trade that I'm in. I'm assessing the big term analysis. It's really not, you know what I mean? I'm not like not giving you the information. You know, I'm just giving you some background data while we're doing this. So a nice bounce here for Bitcoin, right? 93,000 is possible. for Bitcoin. Just something that I'm seeing, so this could be, a higher low. We could get a bounce here. What I'm seeing is we might get a right shoulder. See, like shoulder, head, right shoulder. Another thing is hidden bullish divergence. Like I said, we're going to break this high before we broke that. I said 90% chance we're going to break this high. We're starting to get some hidden bullish divergence here too on the daily. We're swinging down while we're swinging up. It's a really good sign that we might get a beautiful bounce here and just flatten these shorts for a new. But Sam, you're short right now. Yeah, but just for a daily trade. I'm not trying to take down the house. 22 looks bearish. 12-hour. And it's funny how the 22-hour time frame always has more wicks than the daily. It's an interesting time frame. I really like it. I'm going to teach you in a little while why I use the 22. There was a time in my life where the daily was confusing me. I couldn't understand what the market was going to do. I switched to the 22-hour and everything changed. Everything changed in a major way. In a major way. So anyway, 22-hour time frame also. I mean, you don't dump for this. I mean, you've been dumping for a long time, just like you've been bumping for a while. You gave all this pump back. You're very oversold in the 22. You definitely have hidden bullish here on the 22-hour time frame as that swings up and that swings to the downside. You know what I mean? A lot of these people know their TA, but they don't know it like we do, man. We know our TA like I've been doing it for 20 years, man. I mean, I can't even do a TA, but I've been buying and selling stocks since I was 23. I'm 43 now. Can't believe I turned 43. On my way to 50 years old. It's so creepy. On my way to 50-year-old, man. 50-year-old man. I can't believe that. Doesn't make any sense. I got 3 kids. I only had 1 kid when I started the stream. You know what I mean? I grew a family on this stream. My mom and dad died on this stream. So much has happened to me while I've been live streaming here on the channel. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for being here. After we got botted yesterday, we had like 40,000 people on the live stream. That's so crazy, right? I knew it wasn't real, but, you just got to go with the flow. Can we get the likes up to the watchers? I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for the love. All right. And shout out to everyone. We got a lot of people when I did that 5-hour stream recently. I should do another one of those. It seemed to help a lot. So maybe I do a couple of those a month. I just do an extra long live. It's hard, though. It was hard to talk that long. 5 hours straight. You know what I mean? It felt like impossible. So, but we got through. Dude, this thing is bouncing. I'm only up $100. We'll see, man. Maybe this short doesn't play out as such. Maybe we get a daily candle, a green candle next to this red one, Tonight at 8 p.m., we may start another green candle. I've really been, I've never honed in on the daily at 8 p.m. so much in my life. I use the daily candles more than ever now. And ever since I went to Singapore and I started trading the bigger time frames, remember I made that 22 grand in like 6 days in Singapore. While I was traveling, it's weird. I made the most money while I was traveling in the last year and a half. Like, when I travel, I tend to do the best. It's like I don't have to stare at the charts, and I let them. If you think about it, the most money's made when you let the chart actually play out, right? You get in right here, I mean, what a call we made right there. Thursday, I'll always remember at 3 p.m. It's ingrained in my head when I made that call in Las Vegas, man. Wow, only up 85 now. Looking like we're either going to bearishly retest or they're going to plow through these late shorts. Huh. I'm assessing the situation here. So daily 22, I like the 8-hour. These are the time frames that I like to look at. They give me insight. Why do you skip the 10-hour, Sam? Why do you skip the 6-hour? They tend not to give me as much clarity as the 8-hour and the 4. It is what it is. You're getting this nice wick here. You're attempting a bounce, but still it looks bearish to me, like it wants to roll over, right? But you're very oversold. You've been getting sold off for a while. You have to remember that, like the selling, and now, you had a little bit of buy pressure to kind of plug it up. And you got some support or resistance. You're chilling on this high volume node right there at 76,300. Trade's now only up 150, 160. And I'm telling you, man, I'm pretty risky. Like, if you take a look at the trade right now, Because a lot of people, they don't talk about the risk. They just want to show you how much they're winning and all this stuff, but they don't like. So look, I could lose $692. All right. Or I could make $3,500. So I'm risking $700 for $3,500 on this trade. All right. If it ends up going my way, if it comes back up in here and hits me out, I'm going to lose $700. Now, to me, that's a substantial amount of money. You know, the average person, they say in here for the top tax brackets, you're making over like 140 grand a year or something, right? So that's like 14,000 a month. You know, 12,000 a month is about 150 grand a year. So my whole point is 12,000 a month and 700 a day. That's way, you know what I mean? So my whole point is to be in the highest tax bracket. You see what I'm going with this? To be in the highest tax bracket. My whole point is I'm risking what the highest tax bracket person, actually more than one of the higher tax bracket person makes in America right now. And so when you see these guys making hundreds of thousands of trades and their trades are gigantic and stuff, the risk they're taking is just insane. It's not sustainable for a person with a mortgage and a regular life. So how are they communicating to you as a trader? In my humble opinion, they're not. They're just showing you wins to get you to kind of, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. I don't assess it. I'm not them. But what I want to tell you is just be cautious comparing yourself to other traders. I'm in heavy risk right now. This is extreme risk. I could easily lose $700 with a very small move. Bitcoin could go from 76.6. Bitcoin could move $800 and I can lose $800. You see what I'm saying? And it's a $72,000, $77,000 trade with 33. It's 23x leverage. You know, this is extremely risky. The trades they make, I watch these guys, $200. They make, Bitcoin goes $200. They make $50,000, $60,000. We know that there's heavy losses there. We know they don't want to show every loss, right? But I mean, again, I don't know. My point is, all I can do is what I know how to do. And I don't know what other people do. And you know what I mean? Trying to figure out someone else's, you can stare at someone else's strategy and get to know it. That's one thing. Analyze it and really replicate it and go at it as hard as you possibly can. You know what? I was looking for this pocket square. I like this one more than the other one. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, my point is just because I used to do this. I used to click on and I used to see a trader with big money make it, and I'd be like, oh, and I throw a trade on like that and get rocked because they're making the risk look tiny compared to what it really is. You really want to assess the risk and see it for what it is. So again, because like comparatively, I think I trade some of the smaller positions. I mean, to other people, like, dude, that's a $77,000 position. That's huge. Like, you know what I mean? I have to remember how far I've evolved from when I first started doing this with a smaller account. Like I only used to do only 100 for 300. I traded $100 for $300 literally for 2 years straight when I trade Lev over and over again, you know? Look, I even see I'm seeing kind of shoulder, kind of head, shoulder. I'm seeing complex head and shoulders everywhere. I'm just seeing bearishness abound. You know what I mean? Doesn't look good to me. Like even this looks like shoulder, kind of head, shoulder. Like it just looks, it's lower highs. Once you take out this low, that's going to be, they're going to come up for a retest and then it's going to dump. It's going to take out this low. Then it's going to come back up for that node and then you're gone, baby. And look, we're starting to get, now we're up $400, man. Shout out to anyone who's who's short with me. You're in the money now for sure. Like you're in the money, no BS. I didn't flip flop on you. I've been short since 7 in the morning. I've been short since 7 a.m. when I had to wake up and go to my doctor's appointment early. And I apologize. Bitcoin's more bearish than bullish. It may go either way, but it's a symmetrical triangle, but they mainly break down. And what I try to do, I don't want to be a signals group. Some days I do. I say, hey, here's the trade. This is what I see. I just opened up a long on Jasmine Soul and Bitcoin with a tight stop loss. I don't know if that's a great idea. Yeah, my system is telling me not a good idea, but you do whatever makes you happy. I can't force you to do anything. Lord, be with our trades today. Give us the mental clarity and show us how to use our money to serve you. Amen. Shout out to Chris Goss 777. I love that. That's such a good prayer because it puts intention into winning, but then it puts into intention what you're going to do with the winnings, and that's through God's intention, right? Dear Lord, help me become a conduit for you in all ways of my life. help me, stay away from pornography, stay away from anything that could pull me deeper into the demons. The computer is an access code for so many things, right? Help me find only the good things that may help inside of my, with this computer, with this technology. So, no, I just want to say that because the computer is I think I have to postpone the show. I wish you guys could see what I'm seeing right now. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my whole life. I just can't seem to. Whew. Wow. My goodness. What do you guys think just happened? What do you think just happened? Does anybody know what just happened? Anyone want to take a guess of what just happened? I shouldn't even ask that question, right? Wow, man, I'm a lucky man. The show continues on. You guys are so crazy, man. The little guy with the wiper. You nasty twin. Miss Price just flashed. We could see the glare on your glasses. Oh my gosh. Wiper took your breath away. You wild Sammy, man. You come from wild. Oh man. Saw something on X. Somebody said zoom and enhance. Screens are crystal balls. A change in wardrobe. You guys are funny, man. Saw Wifer and kids playing. Shout out to Rave Song Records, man. Keeping it G. Oh my goodness. Wow. Anyway, wow. I almost just shut the whole show down. I really was like, you know what? I was thinking with my other brain. We all know, but there. Congrats on the new kid, Sam. There is work at home, that's for sure. There's a lot of work to do at home. A lot of work for me to get done here. I got a lot of work for me to get done at the house, Anyway, so 8 hour not looking amazing, but we could, don't count out the 8 hour 200 moving average, man. Don't count that puppy out, man. It's been a great place for a bounce, baby. So shout out to the wifer for taking care of our boy Sammy. Amen. Shout out to AZ, my man in the house. Thank you. AZ Welding Hub, dude. This made me the coolest Bitcoin sign in the game, bro. Thank you so much. Shout out to Sean in the house. Sean, I love you more than you would ever know. Don't stand up right now. You guys are stupid, man. You're going to try for a son, man. Anyway, let's take a look at the 4 hour time frame. 4 hours still looking bearish. Hasn't changed. Honestly, when you really put it out there, isn't it a descending triangle? Don't you see the descending? Actually, something I got to do is I changed the highlighter and I want to change it back. Let me go to my settings here and change the highlighter settings back to like a nice bright color. There we go. Yeah. So like you see, that's a descending triangle right there. That should break down. So I'm looking for the 8 hour 200 moving average. And this is what happens. Let me teach you the way. The first thing that happens is, and this is succession. Ooh, I'm going to do something with you guys later on. At around 11:30, I'm going to give you trading succession, trading progression succession. What do you mean? The trading progression succession. All right. You know how like CryptoFace has McCluskey, Clusker, and he has all those weird, I have all my weird stuff too. You know what I mean? And so I have the trading succession progression. And what that is, when things are in a success, right? They're successive. Trading succession progression, all right? And this is what Sam Price does. This is what I want you to understand. The TSP, all right? So the first thing that happens is you make a bullish pattern that's supposed to break out. And it starts to look good. And you want to say, okay, if this can continue to the upside, we're on our way, right? And Bitcoin was looking good. It had to pierce the daily 200. But this was the daily 200 moving average. Tap, tap. We couldn't get above it. resistance, resistance, resistance. We did a bearish retest. First, they grabbed the first shorts. They gobbled them up. They ripped it back up first, knowing they were going to rip it back down. All right. Remember, we ended up making this beautiful trade here out of this short to the downside. I did miss this one. It is what it is. But the point is, you lose the 200 moving average on the 1 hour. The next move is to the 200 on the 2 hour. All right. Once you lose the 2 hour 200 moving average, which is lower than the 1 hour, you'll go to the 3 hour 200. And so look, when we lost the 2 hour, we were at 79.7. When we lose the 3, we're at about 78.9. Then you're going to lose the 4 at around 78.2. Then you're going to lose the 6. First you're going to tap it though. All right. Once you lose the 6, you'll lose the 8. Once you lose the 8, you'll lose the 10. Once you lose the 8, you lose the 12. Once you lose the 12, you lose the 22. Once you lose the 22, you lose, you know what I mean? And so on and so forth. Same way in the other way around. You'll regain the daily, the 200 on the 1 hour. Then you'll regain it on the 4 hour. Then you'll attempt to regain it on the daily. We made our first attempt to crack the 200. It's kind of like right here. Our first attempt didn't go well. We're going to come back again. But eventually it looks like the bulls could fight our way in here. So this is trading succession progression. It's how you move through the 200 moving average. People don't understand this. And this is something you understand after years of doing this, and your mind starts categorizing the time frames. And you can see the succession of time frames inside of the time frames. You get it? Very important idea here. And this is why my trading style is more than just patterns, more than Fibonacci. It's about using multiple time frames to assess how trading is working out. The best traders are using more than one time frame to assess the market. They're looking for maybe a daily support or resistance, and then they're using the 4 hour to execute. All right? Very good process. Trading progression, succession. All right? Understanding these basic these ideas and these concepts. Very important. Once Trump and the Middle East come to a deal, the markets will explode. Yeah, this is why we joke about no pants. Convenient for times like these. You're funny, man. Kids must be sleeping. It's go time, Sammy. Grand slam it. You guys are so funny, man. You never know what a blessing can come from. Be kind, act in gratitude. 100%. You need to write a book of this, Sam, alongside the Buffetts. A book about what? How I work from home. Pretty cool, TA. No, I'm just telling you, I can see how things move through technical analysis. And so you can start anticipating all these moves as they start to happen. So once we got rejected by the 200, I knew that we had to start watching if the 200 could hold on the 1 hour. Once that lost, all right. And now look, this is a tough day of trading. We're getting like a lot of mixed motion here. I'm in a heavy short as far as I'm concerned, and I can barely make $500 a day. It's very hard for me to make $500 a day. Look at this. They're making it very difficult to make money. The key is to not get chopped up in the chop and nail it when you have a high probability. It can be boring, right? Very well said, the Blues guy. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. 100%. Active traders, anyone browsing Lex Ivana. Oh, I just witnessed an accident outside the job I am on. I had cut the airbags out and helped the lady out of the car. Yikes. Dude, you just saved someone's life. You're a freaking crypto lifer, man. Sam, flip long with phantom bullish divergence. Sam flip long with, no. You flip long, I don't know. You flip long with phantom bullish divergence. Interesting. Your ankle's still messed up or about to start playing pickleball soon. Now, anyone notice that happened right when Sam was praying? What happened? Oh, my wife came in, yeah. It was a bit weird, right? Like right when it's like the apple. No, man, it's wrong. The whole time I was thinking of the trade I had open. What's the take profit on your short, Sammy? It's deep. Maybe a little too deep. it's 73,109, right? Can we look at Tesla active traders? Anyone browsing Lexivana for signal? I don't know why you keep asking that. You ask that one more time, you're going to be a spammer. We don't want spamming over here. Appreciate you, but you know what I mean? I hope there wasn't a glare on the glasses. Now I have to go look. You know what I mean? Getting into an oil long. I mean, the oil long looks pretty good. A young 15-year-old boy died this morning at the high school IT chat. Was hit on his electrical bike. Life is fragile. That's so sad. Moment of silence for that kid and his family, man. Dear Lord, when his mother and father hear this news, oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't know how people can do it. I really don't. Only God can give the strength to get through those situations. So here we are on the 1 hour time frame. So let's assess the 1 hour. Let's do our due diligence here now, because there's going to be a lot of information here if we can strip through. It's like archaeological data. The more you can dig, the more information you can get. All right. Number one, I got the trend line here like this. Bounce, bounce, bounce. So it looks like we're going to come down to the trend line. So I feel like we're headed down to 75,161 right off the bat. That's a $1,000 move. Okay. Number two, I showed you how it resembles to me a descending triangle in a way too. You see how it's like, if anything, this was the bear flag, and we gave you guys the bear flag earlier today. We have closed outside, you know, the 1 hour now, the candle has now closed outside of the trend line. It's a clear dump. But the only thing that I got kind of brewing here, this kind of has a diamond vibe. It kind of has a bit of a diamond vibe. It's not amazing, but it's got that, you know, je ne sais quoi. It could possibly reverse price here. So here's the deal. I'll stay short. But if I see Bitcoin break above here and retest, I'm going to have to take a long. And I'm going to long this gap up back to the 200 moving average off of this support. So to me, this is a really good area to look for a long if I'm wrong in this short. You know what I mean? The secret of staying young is to live honestly, eat slowly, and lie about your age. I love that. I'm only 25, man. Seriously. I only look old because I dress old, but I feel like if I dress younger, people would think I wasn't as old. You know what I mean? I like to look older because I'm a mentor, and so I put on this age thing. You know what I mean? But, you know, I'd rather be a younger version of myself. Peace and blessings, life or family. God bless Jamal Antonio. He's been following me since I had, I think, 300 subs or 1,000 subs. Very beginning. We actually were in a trading group before. He knew me before I even started. A lot of these people actually knew me before I even started a YouTube channel. Me and Jamal were in a trading group together before I even started a YouTube channel, man. You have to understand, man, that's how you know I'm not a scammer. I'm not like, I don't do the... Because people have been following me for over 6-7 years now, and they still come to me whenever I have an event or... You know, we meet up, we hang out, like, says dozens of crashed UFOs have been recovered with 4 different alien species on board, 2 arms, 2 legs, and long tails like a lizard, 7 feet tall. 100%, man. I've been telling people this for a long, long time, that we had over 57 different species of aliens. I was told by a guy that my friend's uncle, he was related to Bill Donovan. They helped start the CIA. You know, we have, you know, I'm connected to, you know, Scottish Freemasons and all this. I really am. I have to be honest. My bloodline is Welsh. My grandfather was a Freemason. One of my buddies, his father was heavily connected. His uncle was Tom Mannix, who ran the Harvard Endowment. You can Google this guy. This is my buddy's uncle here. This is my buddy's uncle, dude. Thomas Mannix. Right here, this guy. Strategic advisor, Interlink Markets, Harvard University. He ran the Harvard Endowment for a long time. Like, he was at Lehman Brothers, if I remember correctly. Interlink Markets, and he's in Boston. Anyway, the only reason I know this dude is because his brother, Michael, who's now passed, his nephew is a friend of mine at St. John's. And he taught me so much about the inner workings of the government that many people just don't know about. And I was privy to information that most people will never get to know or understand. And they sat me down and told me 57 different species of aliens, man. And we know about them. We have the reptilians, Zeta Reticuli. We got these little gray aliens. There's a lot of different ones, man. We have the Pleiadians that live in the, Andromeda. It goes on, man. It goes on and on and on and on. Anyway, this is for a whole nother time. And again, I'm not telling you I know everything is a fact. So look, I'm high risk. I'm doing everything I can to make a buck today. And look you got to get in and out on these. Like I could have made $400 and that was it. I'm just trying to show you how everyone thinks you can make tons of money in this market, but really, you can chip away. You can chip away. The people that make money chip away. They don't, you know what I mean? They make little bits, little bits, little bits. They don't just make huge account moves every day. Don't beat yourself. If your first year you only make $5,000, you're doing better than 95% of people. You have to start it. People are making unrealistic comparisons as traders. And it doesn't make any sense. All right. Funny, I'm having like a hard time assessing the market today. Sometimes my brain is just spot on point. Sometimes I have to find that little niche in my brain that can figure out what's happening in the markets. And it's funny, you think we'd have 1,200 beautiful souls here on the live. Like yesterday we got pumped up huge. It's just so crazy. I've been live every single day. I've given thousands of trades. I've been accurate, I think, very many times. I've been wrong, but I think I've been accurate way more than I've been wrong. You think this channel would be huge, man? I can't understand, but I just got to tell myself I'm in crypto, and I guess crypto and very difficult. I just want to let you know. I want to open up right now. I'm just going to be vulnerable right now for a second. I worked my butt off, everybody. I gave every single day of my life to this channel for 6 years. I live streamed for 5 years every day without a day off. I took equipment around the world. And I'm super excited. I'm grateful for 106,000 subscribers. I really am. But I've seen channels put in way less effort and grow way quicker. You know what I mean? And again, I'm in a niche group of information that's not easy to understand. It's not like I'm selling, a guy tripping on, banana peels. So I get it. But I would have assumed I would have gotten maybe to 500,000 by now. But again, I don't want to ever say I'm unappreciative. I'm so grateful for everything that I do have where I am at right now. And all I can do is be happy with where I'm at, be grateful to God, and then move on. But dang, man, I gave so much of my life to this channel. And I'm just teaching you how hard YouTube is. It's like the hardest profession in the world. That's why most people will never make it as a YouTuber, because it'll beat you down until you just either believe in yourself or you just, you'll never make it. You'll never make it. It's crazy how hard YouTube is. I can't even believe how hard it is. I never even thought I knew until I got into this profession. So it's literally very similar to becoming I'm not trying to be pompous, but it's very similar to becoming a professional sports player. It takes such a demand on your life because you have to commit to it. Even if you do 3 streams a week, which my other counterparties do and people I know, it's still heavy commitment. And if you're a streamer that has to show your trades and you have to be accurate, that's stress on the brain. You have thousands of people assessing your market and analysis. And you don't want to be wrong because you look like a complete clown. The more you're wrong, the more people will just write you off. Your business will go to zero. If I'm wrong, people will just leave my trading group, call me a loser. And eventually, I won't even be able to sell education. You know what I mean? So I have to be accurate. To be accurate, I have to give up so much of the rest of my life. And I'm not complaining. I'm just letting you know how hard this is, to run a trading group, to have a YouTube channel. Oh my God, man. In this type of environment, very, 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 if you don't have ways to deal with the stress is going to eat you alive. I have to separate myself from the charts a couple times a day sometimes and reassess and just take a deep breath and be happy that God gave me the situation I'm in. Otherwise, I get overwhelmed. I haven't taken a day off in 5 years, man. Not one. Not one day did I just say, hey, I'm going to go to the mountains today. I'm going to be alone for 48 hours. I'm going to come back, reset. Not one day, man, because the market never takes a break. So look, I'm looking for so here's the deal. I'm looking for the 15-minute to make a bear flag here and continue. Otherwise, we'll have kind of an inverted head and shoulder, and we may break back up, and I may lose this trade. It's crazy how, and again, I want to reassess. Look how difficult this is. I'm now only up 130. If you're emotional trading here, this is gonna mess with you. If you don't have, I have years and years of doing this, so I'm okay. And look, there's my break-even price. It's right there. They're about to, I could lose this trade so fast. A lot of times I move the stop loss right into break-even, and I'd rather just pay the fee and get stopped out of break-even, right? Right now I'm gonna hover right there above that 200. And again, I've been in this trade since last night. They've tried to get me out a few times now. I had the stop loss up here. I was up, then they had me down. Then I was at break even, then they had me down. Then I was at break even, then they had me down. Then I was in the money, then they have me, now they're playing with the money. You see? And I'm in a my whole point is that I'm in a if you raise the risk any more than this, you're going up and down even worse than this. You turn this into $1 million trade, which is a 10x, a little more than 10x's trade. Think about it. You're down 1,400, up 14. I mean, yeah. Nobody actually analyzes the amount of money the average person makes a year around the world and in the United States, and then looks at the risk that an average trader is taking, compares it to that idea, and then sees if that's a realistic lifestyle. Because it's just not. So if you're comparing yourself to someone who's, aping into these giant trades a day, unless that's all you're doing every single day, I'm telling you, you're going to struggle. There was a time when I was trading and I was making side money, but then I knew if I wanted to take trading to another level, I had to get rid of my job. My job was in the way. My job was stopping me from making more money. And I had this talk with myself one day, and it said, you're an all or nothing person, Sam. You can't really do two things. I could do two things at once, like at the moment, you know what I mean? But I can't choose two career paths at once, because I got to put my all into one career path to make it happen. Like, you can't be a basketball player and an artist, you know what I mean? I mean, some people, my whole point is, I assess successful people. I want to say the perfect thing at the perfect time. So I was studying success, and I really wasn't sure what success was. I thought I knew what it was, but I didn't know the intricate details of success, right? Once I realized what success was, it hit me one day. I was like, oh my God. And what is success is a full obsessive belief in one thing to the point of no return. I'm going to make it all the way. Michael Phelps in swimming, like, he was going to get the gold medal. That was it. He was going to swim every day, and he knew if he just pushed himself, he was going to become a better swimmer than everyone else that tried to beat him. It just wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to happen. See what I'm saying? Like, he got it in his head he was going to win. And so I was like, oh my God, winners are people that are so obsessed that no matter what, they're going to win. And so I took that mentality. Once I realized what a successful person really was, which is someone that has no plan B, man. It's plan A, burn the ships. They talk about burning the ships, burn the bridges. Like, burn the ship. You get to that island and you burn the ships. You can't go back. You have to make it now. You can't leave. That's the whole, the burn the ships metaphor is you get to the island, you burn the ships, because now you can't go back home. Now you have to live off the land. Now you must survive. And I burnt my ships, man. It had to be this YouTube channel or I wasn't going to make it. And that's kind of where I took it. So let's reassess these smaller time frames now. Wow, getting a beautiful bounce. The 5-minute does a double bottom. Still doesn't look amazing, I gotta be honest. 1 minute looks interesting, to say the least. Dump, pump, dump, pump, dump, pump. Now it's in a bull flag. I gotta be honest, that looks bullish to me. Whenever I see a flag with the 21 curving, I get a little giddy. I'm like, well, there could be the bottom. I'm telling you right now, man, institutions want more Bitcoin than ever. I believe Bitcoin is the scarcest asset in the world right now. Comparatively, if you're a big boy and you need something to prop you up over time, Bitcoin's the answer, man. So I might just take this short off the table right now. I have to be honest. I could see it go either ways. And again, lately, 10 to 12 has been it used to be the greatest trading session ever. It's been some tough times recently. Look, there it goes, man. That thing should blast off. Then it's going to test the 200, and then I'll eventually get my model. But the only thing is the model is going to be close to range-bound areas too, which tells you to be careful. You like when the model's lower. Well, look, that was supposed to pump the way it did right there. And now, look, I just turned a $400 win into $60. What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to lose the trade. I might have to come cover now. Like, this is crazy. And what if they just stop me out and then they dump it? And this is just a bullish retest. Like, a bear, it retests this and it dumps. It's possible. The 1 minute is telling me no, though. 1 minute tell me we're at least going to that 200 moving average. And now my brain, my subconscious mind is assessing the risk. And it's asking, the risk isn't the same as it was when I got into the trade. I'm seeing more information than I saw last night. You're here with me in real time as I make real assessments on the market and decide whether that information that I'm having now, and look, I'm putting my stop loss to break even. I will not lose money. I refuse. Right there's my trigger. And so maybe they trigger me. Maybe they trigger me and they bounce it. We don't know for sure. And maybe this just gets a bearish retest and I missed the biggest dump of my life. It's okay. It didn't go the way I planned. That was supposed to continue to dump. I did not expect that to wing up like that. Like, it's not what I'm looking for. No. I didn't expect the 1 minute. Once I saw this flag on the 1 minute, I knew we were going to pump up to that 200 moving average. Look, you could see it. See how I just assessed the 1 minute and it was able to help me from losing a trade? I don't have to put myself into heavy risk for no reason. And what I want to tell you is I was in heavy risk just there. I got to keep reiterating this. The 10 and 6 other traders that I see that trade leverage, they're just doing so much heavy risk. I don't see if they're going to end up profitable over time, man. I think we knew it was going to be manipulated once institutional money got in, but I don't think we knew it was going to get this bad to where it was completely different market. But, the information still reigns tried and true. To me, it's like, I've never had a harder time. I've had I'm having good results, but I've never had a harder time. Like, I have to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth all the time. It's constant. It's constant. And it's very difficult. I'll be honest, the stress on my mind the last 6-7 months, my wife says it's always been a stressful time. It's like the markets have never been easy on me. But I'll tell you what, man, this has always been difficult. But I feel like the last 6 months have been, like, I can't remember when I say, hey, it could go either way. And I feel like I say it like every other night. I still manage to do very well. But it's making it very hard for a beginner to follow along with good traders because they're making people think that even good traders don't know what's happening. Once you understand trading, you understand, man, I've learned from you. I'm loving how you are thinking out loud right now because this is how I've started speaking to myself more and more lately. You have to. This is the channel where, no one shows this sides of the brain because they don't want to be vulnerable. See, God is with me so much and God has shown me so much and God has stripped me of everything and then gave it back. So once God stripped me of everything, took my mom away from me on Thanksgiving, my dad died you know what I mean? I lost a lot of friends and family, double-crossed by business partners. And I assessed the world and I said, okay. Yeah, a lot of double moves and fake outs in between the real moves. 1 minute playing ping pong all week. Same position you were in, still holding, let me see. Yeah, good luck, man. I just, that now looks like a possible double bottom on the 1 hour. Right? So what I will do is I'll give this 6 more hours. If it can go like this, then we short again. If it breaks back up, we take the long, like I told you. And I think it's a good time to just chill out. It's really about the market makers now. They are the liquidity providers we use to battle against the retail only. Yeah. He said, Sam, sounds like my life. It's been a very, can I enter into Bitcoin trade from here? Interesting. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It really does, though. It really does. It really, really does. All love, Sam. You got to stop saying everything. Nothing more, in my opinion, than your wife and kids, brother. And you have that. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, but to keep my wife and kids safe and to keep them having what they have, I got to grind every day, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a constant battle. Tether dominance. I've not been able to confide in a trade lately. Yeah. Hey, I can understand that, man. This looks like chop. The bigger time frames don't look good. It says we're going lower. I can't guarantee it, but the odds are lower, right? We're actually back in the negative there. And it looks even like a bearish retest on the 15-minute of the trend line. The heart that gives thanks is a happy one, Livers. We must find time to stop and think and thank the people who made the difference in our lives. Yeah. And shout out to everybody here on the live. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate that. I don't know why I beg for the likes every day. I find it odd. Because everyone says they love it and they support the channel and they're super supportive and I meet everybody and everyone's super nice, but it's weird how we have 1,200 people, but we can't seem to get 1,000 likes, right? We love your spirit and you're the boss. We're just referring to you say you lost everything when in fact you have everything. I didn't say, did I say I lost everything? No. I don't know if that's, I never said I lost everything. No. Yeah. I appreciate the openness because it's so relatable. Yeah. He said rejecting the 21 MA. It really is there on the 15-minute time frame. It looks like it fell out, bearishly retested, and it's going to continue to dump here. Could just assess stay in that, but almost looks like an Adam and Eve double top too in a way. If you're not on 3 different accounts getting those likes up, you ain't living right. Shout out to you, man. Thank you. And look at the 451 beautiful people that jump on in there. And I'm so grateful now. We have 452 likes. I'm so grateful for the likes that I do have. And I'm so grateful for the views that I do have, man. There's channels that are begging for 500 right now. And they were bigger than me or had more, you know what I mean? They had more views than me back in the day. They can't even get 500 anymore. So we're doing great. God has blessed us. I have to, keep reminding myself that we're doing better than 99% of the other crypto channels. As someone who loves this channel, I forget sometimes to hit the like only because I'm usually on the move and I have the phone in my pocket and headphones on. I appreciate that. I remember that now. Shout out to Fund the Shorts. Thank you for the $19.99. God bless you. Thank you so much for the super chat. That's very nice. Yeah, it does look like a bearish retest on the 15-minute. I understand. Once I meet my goals and knew I would never need to work again, my entire life feels different. I still grind now at what I want to. Amen, man. Playing a 1-minute money printer for Pops and 77 entry at 76,229. Yeah, I just stopped buying. You mean right here? I just stopped buying below the 200 moving average. To me, it's just it's too high risk. I've learned I did it thousands of times, so you'll end up just you could either listen to me. It's kind of like I drove across the country 2,000, 3,000 times, and then you're going to drive across the country, and I'm going to tell you all the things that can happen, and you say, nah, probably not. And you're like, but I've already done it more than you, so. Sam, you're not begging for likes. People like me just forget to do it, so keep reminding us. Thank you, Jay Will. I've actually watched someone I really liked and forgot to hit the like button. It's happened to me too. So that exact thing has happened to me. So, and where did I just sell there? Wait, it says closed amount. Oh no, closed amount. Closed price 76,620. So I'd already be back in kind of the money here. I was still in the money, so I'd still be in the money on the short. I tell you, man, I can't see what they're gonna do. I gotta you'd be vulnerable right now. Wash my hands and say I don't know what they're doing. It's okay to admit when you don't know, because if you have a good system, it's gonna tell you what's gonna, like, high probability. Oh, that's gonna hit. Like when I saw that hidden bull div on that daily, I said that is a 90% chance we're gonna make money here. It was like no questions asked. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I could say this is bearishly retesting and just to jump on in again, saddle up, partner, on the short. And I never mean to be a flip-flop, folks. This is how hard the market is. For someone that's been doing it as long as me, you have to be able to bend and weave. You have to be able to switch it, right? I've made a habit of when I open the stream, the first thing I do is hit the like. You don't always allow yourself to forget to hit the like. It's just the first thing you do every day when you open the stream, yeah. I want to ask for prayers from MMTLP U3 Hull. 65 shareholders has been fighting for over 3 years, praying for a fair settlement. I hope you guys get it. I don't know much about it, you know. Shorted on the 1 hour time frame. I mean, that's what it's telling us to do. We're looking like a bearish retest right now on the 15-minute. As we lost this trend line, tried to get back inside the pattern, got rejected by the 200, looking like it's going to dump again. And God bless everybody here. 500 likes. That's amazing. Yeah, possible cat ears. I see what you're saying. And then it could dump down the other. It's a possible double bottom. Now it's back at 383 though. So now the odds are it's just going to continue to go down. I mean, I got to make up my mind at one point. That's the problem too, just being indecisive. Even if you're great at trading, but you're indecisive, tough, you know. And my mind's very active. I can see many different things at once. And the more you get better at TA, the more you can see. And then it's even like, it's almost like it gets more complex before it gets better. Like the more you know, the more you have to deal with. Then you can then you deal with the new information that you can bring in. What about CME gap? We got on one bit higher at 79, then the gap always gets filled. Only 95% of gaps, not every single one. You trade when you see Sammy up, Sammy down, Sammy size, depending, yeah. Bitcoin could come to 76.6 to sell from this price. May just say RO your decision. I lost 2K because of being in I don't know what that means. If you could type in proper English, I can help you. Paralysis by analysis. Yes, 100%. Eventually, you just got to pick a direction and go for it. Tell you what, the 4 hour looks bearish to me. It's curving and it looks like it's got a lower high. 4 hour looks really whack. It's got a bear cross coming. I don't know what they're doing with this 1 hour. They should have just continued to dump and fulfilled my short, man. It's like crazy. This poll is in favor of 54K. He said, mate, just stay to your decision. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. I don't listen to other people's, man. So 104K, 713 votes, 104K, 54K. You know, more people think we're going to 54,000 than 104,000 now. So that's the assessed idea here. And Bitcoin's been sideways now for the last hour straight. It's been between the range of 76.2 and 76.4. Really just like sitting in this range-bound area. It had lost, looked like it was going to dump. We were in the money in the short. Everything was going well. Then they wicked it up, opened a green candle and started to try to bounce this puppy. And now I'm like, this candle now has me assessing whether I'd like to stay in a short or not. And that's precisely why we aren't. Anyway, yeah, exactly. If I got FOMO, then I have to get in because I'm like, oh, I'm going to miss the big dump. But I don't care. I just want to take the best probabilities. Yeah. NVIDIA earnings come in today too as well, which will definitely mess with the market. Let's take a look at Forex Factory and see what's coming our way. And today's Tuesday, right? It's like, what is the day, man? Like it was a bug. I'm like, how is there a bug in my house? So, yeah, FOM Waller, whatever, ADP and weak employment, Wednesday, we have minutes, which really do nothing. They're a nothing burger. Crude oil inventories, I'd like to see that. Should be high with Venezuela crude, right? I mean, like, Thursday, we have unemployment claims. Friday, we have nothing too crazy. Yeah, so it's really Thursday at 8:30 is the biggest deal we have, which is going to be unemployment claims. Tomorrow, nothing too crazy. Just crude inventory and FOC minutes. Minutes, they just go over what they talked about. I see some streamers going over the minutes. I think it's pointless, man. But that's just me. You do whatever you want, right? So look, that's now clearly an inverted head and shoulder or something, or kind of a cup and handle. Like, it's almost telling me that I should be taking a long here. So it's a bit of a double bottom. So look, we pumped up, got rejected by the 200, came back, got the craziness. Can you look at Celos? Never heard of it, man. Thank you. Funny, someone says Injective is pumping. You know, I've seen a bunch of different coins recently that look bullish to me. Almost like alts don't care anymore. They just don't care no more. I mean, very oversold. Touching the 21 on the 3-day chart. I mean, you got beat. Look how much they sold it. They sold this thing down from the 15th. It got sold all the whole entire month straight. For a month straight, they sold this thing. And now it's finally getting a bit of a bounce. It does say it can get all the way back to 13 cents. Sometimes I watch through New Pipe. Can't like, sorry. New Pipe. Well, go find the YouTube link and hit the like. All right. Interesting. I just found out what New Pipe is. I don't even want to talk about it because I don't want people to know about it. Interesting. Let's take a look at others.d, which is all the altcoins, right? Again, and their dominance. And you can see, I mean, they're clearly getting this higher low here, right? So let's reassess the situation and look at others. This is all the altcoins, all right? And it's like, well, what happens if, you know, and it's almost like you can only, sell pressure can only last for so long, just like buy pressure. I mean, on the monthly, this looks like we're done. Like we've hit a bottom on these altcoins. And it says, hey, we're eventually going to start making some move past this resistance and continuing further to the upside. Look at the weekly, you know, could bounce back up there. 3-day chart looks somewhat interesting. It's in a tight channel here with kind of an uptrend. And then here we are on the daily. The daily's getting very tight inside of this level here too. And looking at this, this could possibly make a move higher. It's getting very tight inside this range. Very tight inside the range, right? I watched through P-Hub only. You're so crazy. I can't believe you even read that statement. Come on, be careful. This, you know, we don't, just be careful. This, yeah. I don't even want to, yeah. All's worse than the Great, oh my God. So, but I mean, this tells me that the altcoins are about to do some damage. They're about to break out. Atom, like some big coins look like they're going to pump. Atom, all this other stuff. And look, I got out of that short. Might have been a good idea here. So we all don't know if my moves are good until later on. Or the daily boomer trendline break and broke out of the lower time frame. Now testing the, thanks, bud. God bless. Thank you. God bless you. Yeah. Let's take a look here at what's happening for the fan funding. All right. Can you look at Selos? All right, so here we are. Grateful for the value and the education you brought. Could you please look at WT? We did look at that. Thank you. I just opened along on Jasmine, Sol, and Bitcoin with tight stop losses. Crazy. Hey, but maybe he's onto something. I'm all or nothing personal as well. 100%. Yep. That's why it's hard for me to like short and long, because I'm like, either I'm long or I'm short. Like, I'm not short and long. Like, I just can't play that game. You know, it's very hard for me. I got to either believe we're going a certain way or we're not. Like, I'm all no, you know what I mean? I'm either going all the way. That's why I either live stream every day and give you guys everything I have, or I don't do it. Like, it's like, so we got to look at Selos is the only one that was asked about it right now, right? Right. And shout out to Defund the Shorts for the $19.99. God bless you, man. Thank you so much. One more time. Life Revision got me take profit times 3 today. My man. Pollen season approaching. Be more bullish and get your flowers. You're funny, man. So others looks like it's going to break out. It's making higher lows in an uptrend. It just got to crack through this resistance. Once it does that, it retests. It goes up to 8.4 and then up to 8.8%. Now I'm seeing the bearish retest again, though, on this 15-minute. We can't seem to break back inside the trend. They got us sideways again, folks, playing with our emotions. Let me reassess this one last time. And some days you just wash your hands. Like, it's like, hey, I just feel like, man, how is that thing not dumb? Look what they've been doing now for the last hour. This is an hour. 15-minute, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's an hour and a half. Just insanity. I tell you what, man, it's I can't get a good reading on the market right now. What looks obvious isn't so obvious, right? The one thing, they're making me very good at being ultra selective. You know, it's definitely a veteran's market here. Like, this tells me we should go, but if this thing bounces back above that 21, I mean, bearish retest of this trend line, right? Perfect place to get into the short and let this thing dump. I was previously in the short. That was my initial idea here. We were in the money on the short if you did take it. But it's like I had to take just $500. That's all they were going to give me is $500. And I was still, I consider myself heavy leveraged. So I had to be extremely risky to make $500 today. I just want to reiterate that. And I've seen that a lot. To make money on this market, you have to be. And so if you're wrong, man, they're going to plow you down. And you go wrong 6-7 times and you're over risk. I mean, that's a lot. You can lose tons of money. I could lose $7,000 because I'm going 7,000 for 35, right? So 10 losses for me, $7,000. BOOKMAP assessing the situation too. Let's take a look at BOOKMAP. I'm just going to reload it up because I had it running all night. And it tends to bog down the system. Tends to get bogged down a little bit. They're just chewing with price right here. They don't want to lose the 76.5. They're hanging out. My gratitude softens your worries. May appreciation guide your thoughts. Amen. Amen. Wow. Like, it hasn't moved. Like, it's just not even going anywhere, man. Market makers inducing long so they could squeeze them down to the liquidity between 75 and 78.4, in my opinion. Interesting. I don't know, man. It almost looks like they're inducing shorts, no? I see it the other way. Like, yeah. I honestly, I try not to, do that. You know, and I don't want to, I always want to be on your side because you're my buddy, but I try not, market makers inducing longs. I try not to, like, because every time I try to assess the market like that analytically, I get away from math. I just kind of look at what I see here and I just, But you might see it differently than me. You might be able to see it with your wisdom. I can't. Yeah. I don't try to depict what's going on. I just try to see the math before most people can see it. I believe you, Sam. They are inducing shorts. That's why I took a long. Interesting. Yeah. It's a fake out. We're going up, somebody says. I mean, it's a double bottom. It's a double bottom on the 1 hour time frame. It's a higher low. Like, this closes, you have to take that as it's going to move back up, right? That moved up. That moved up. That moved up. That eventually did break out. They wicked the low. Thanks to everyone who bought my Bitcoin bags at 117. Oh, I bought some at 117. I'll buy more too today. Oh, you sold Bitcoin? We're going to be laughing at you in 5 years. Like, you're the one who sold at 117? Worst idea you could have ever done in your life. Funny, right now it looks smart, but maybe later on it won't. But God bless you, Cell Opera. We love you, man. Hey, as long as you made money and you're doing the right thing with your life and you're spreading positivity and love, I don't care how you did it. As long as you're spreading positivity and love, man. Wow, now they're coming back up again. This has been a vicious back and forth price action today. And it's funny, I'm getting deja vu a lot on the channel. Like, dang, 10 to 12, they tend to go back and forth a lot. Crazy price action. And look, if you assess the situation and you're like me, you start looking, well, this is starting to make a bit of an ascending, or even, maybe it is symmetrical. It could go either way here. 21 curving up is suggesting something. Let's look at the 30-second. You're above the 200, touching the 21. This is a possible breakout coming right now on the 30-second chart. Why am I on the 30-second? It's just giving me the insight that I need right now. There's the model printing. You could technically trade this 30-second back up to 77,000. Yeah, market makers play dirty games when it comes to liquidity grabs and inducing longs or shorts to choose the direction. Yeah. Also the diamond for confluence. Yeah. I will forever remain humble because I know I could have less. I will always be grateful because I know I could have less. Amen. Wow, I just got to sit on hands before I wreck something. 100%, man. I mined 2.3 Bitcoin during COVID and sold it all to live. I wish I still had it. Yeah, see. Wow, look at that. And they dumped it immediately. I'm under the idea that, like, you never sell Bitcoin to live. Like, you have to, like, live. Like, if you have to sell Bitcoin to live, you just live below your means. Like, so there's many times in my life where I could have sold Bitcoin and lived a better life. I didn't do that. I stayed working the night shift and I stayed saving my money. I understood that Bitcoin was a asset you could just never get rid of. Like, to me, it's you never sell Bitcoin. Never. Like, one time, I have to be honest, one time I did sell it. I felt absolutely horrible for it. I bought it back on my way to work. And then when I bought it back at like a stoplight or right when I got back to work, I was out of Bitcoin for like a half an hour or like 45 minutes or something. Like, I sold it, drove to work on the LIE. By the time I got back, it was like meandering. I was able to buy it like, I think I sold it at like 11.8. I bought back in at like 12.2. It went down to 10.9. I thought I was sweet. And I realized I had the wrong form of money and I was like paranoid. And all the years of research I did were like pointless. And I was like, what am I doing? I got myself back into Bitcoin. I never sold again. I made my first DA sales for stocks that last Thursday. Sold a local top because I needed cash. That's different. Stocks are stocks. Bitcoin is like real estate from, is like Manhattan real estate in the 1920s, Really got to be fast on your scalps and fees eat up. No more trades today for me. Yeah. Graveyard shift is the hardest. Kudos, Sam. You made it out alive. Thank you. You think we could bounce from here and choose 9? Yeah. What's your opinion about Zcash? I think it'll go up over time, but Bitcoin has to pump for it to pump. Yeah. And if you ask one more time, you're spamming. I answered your Zcash question, brother. All right, now you're spamming. One more time, and we're going to have to block you, man. All right, you're done. You're done. I'm going to hide you on... actually, I didn't mean to hide you forever. I want to undo that. I think I undid it. I just wanted to put you on timeout for like 10 minutes. Give you your first little warning there. Hurt to sell anything with money for heating up. kind of got this like sloppy inverted. It's crazy. They have the prices not moved now. In an hour, it's been in a tiny range. Like, it started in the range when it dropped. Look at this. Bearish retest, then no, then no, then yes, then no, then yes, then no. I'm smartly not doing anything. I think that's, you know, some spam and do keep posting a wallet and send raise, and get rid of him, man. Yeah. Deported, right? Yeah, I always see that every day. I don't know what that's all about. It's the weirdest thing ever. It's like, can someone help me? This is my free. It's like, yeah. Go to the corner now, right? I'm 27. I borrowed against my 401k in February at 66. Good idea so far. All right. Today, TP. What about Zcash? Borrowing from short Bitcoin 3x and long 200x. Borrowing from short Bitcoin. I don't get what that means. Slow price action, man. Looks rigged like Ronda Rousey's last fight. That's so funny. That's what I heard, right? You know, I'm digging in on this 1 hour time frame that's showing signs of a possible tweezer bottom. It definitely fell at the bear flag, but they're playing games with these shorts. They should have dumped by now. They should have went on. It started to go really nicely. I thought we were going to win the short. I had to bail out with a $11 win or something. Thanks for everything, Sam. One day I'll get out of this big brown truck and be a trader, but for now, it is what it is. Hey, dude, have a long-term plan. I had a 10-year plan, and after 10 years, I was able to quit my job. But it started, all right, as I see it, removing their comment with the seat raise protects everyone. Amen. They want you to log in that wallet and try to steal the funds out of it. You have to transfer TRX in and then keep the TRX. It's so weird. Yeah. Thank you, God, for giving me the strength to keep going. Amen, brother. Amen. Amen. I'll be honest, today I woke up and I wanted to go to the beach, man. I really did. I didn't want to stream today Today I wanted to wake up and I just wanted to go to the beach, man. I didn't want to sit and put a suit on. I didn't want to be here in front of the charts. I have to be honest. I shouldn't be honest with you guys, but I did. Today I wanted to play hooky and I wanted to go to the beach. And I didn't want to look at the charts and I didn't want to play games with the charts and I just wanted to move on, right? Look, now we're the money again, now at 384. It's looking like it's going to dump and it's a bearish retest. That's a bearish retest if I've ever seen one, right? For sure. Fell out, bearishly retested, now it's going to dump. Tells me I should take the short and just let it be. And now I'm like, I don't have the risk I had before. I've got to go lower for the Yeah, I can't. My stop's got to be above there to play this game. See, I was positioned well the first time. Now I'm like over, now I only get 239. Unless I go all the way to 73K, which was my initial idea, right? I feel like I gotta get back in the short now, but I can't tell, folks. My dad retired at 55, well off, showed me it was possible. Loved him so much. I love hearing that. That's very good. Very, very good. My dad kind of retired at I have to be honest, I tell my dad's story at another time. It's really a lot of controversy behind it at the moment. Certain things I can't disclose, but one day I believe I'll write the book. And it should be worth reading. I hope, But my dad did things very differently than the average person. Way differently, I have to be honest. Extremely different. And there's 900 for, 3,000. Because if we drop $3,000, I want to make $3,000. Like, I'm not just, you know what I mean? Look, now they're trying to bounce it back. I can't. This has been the strangest live stream, man. They did this the other day, though. Same exact thing. Oh, Lord, who lends me life? Let me have a heart. Let me a heart replete with thankfulness. Amen. Chop sideways and down for a while. Need the weekly Stokes to reset is what I see. Hopefully hold the macro support and we can get another good run on the weekly. Break your long-running daily streaming? Never. I know, right? Be careful late shorts. Look at the pattern on the 15-minute. Next candle could be a green. Look out. I'm not jumping in, man. I've never seen a bearish retest so obvious, yet, you know. This is all just bing bong. Let's go play with Solana or something. I mean, Solana's going to be doing the exact... If we look at Sol, it's going to be doing the exact same thing. I bet if we look at Sol in the 15-minute... Look, there's my $9 win, man. Sol's in the exact same situation. That's like... You know, you're watching this. It's at the bearish retest. It's right. It's like it's going to do exactly whatever Bitcoin does, Sol's going to do identically. I'm staying away from the... I've been seeing 666 at a lot of numbers lately. Now I'm in church. Amen. Looks like Sammy Cup and Handy Bun on the 1 minute. Yeah, there you go there too. And that's doing the same. That's going to do the same thing Bitcoin does. Another annoying stream. I shouldn't say that, but price action is vexing for sure. I look at this now. Now it's like a double bottom, or it's... Look at that on the... they've been just chopping us around. Five-minute looks to be making an ascending triangle here. That could grind either way. Looks like it may want to go higher to 77,081. God, thank you for keeping me together when I'm falling apart. Thank you for blessing me much more than I desire. Amen. Dude, Lab just continues to rip too. That looks bullish right there. I like Lab. It has a use case. Like, you can actually use it, which is pretty cool to me. Look at that run it's been on. Wow. But it did make that flag and not a surf, right? Remember that band, Not a Surf? It is tapping that 21 right there, though. So, like, this could be a bounce. It's oversold, top of that 21. What if Lab just gets a continuation here to the upside? All right. Someone like ZBCN right now. Look, we played with the 300 moving average there, the 200 moving average on the 32nd. Wow, every time I think it's going to go back, and I'm smartly just sitting pretty here. Doing nothing can be an absolutely amazing skill. I'm telling you right now. Most traders can't. They're going to trade themselves. They're going to chew themselves up. They can't do nothing. If you find yourself not trading at all, consider yourself one of the luckiest people in the game. Most people can't do that. Just, I want to reiterate this fact. You find yourself able to not trade at all, you have actually control over yourself. Your emotions aren't propelling you to do something. They're going to force you to trade. This looks good to me. I like it. It's a cup and handle. Previous high is the low. It looks like it's going to pounce. 4 hour looks a little sketchy, but the 1 hour looks good to me for ZBCN. Only maybe a 6% gain. Not amazing, but it's a gain nonetheless. It does look interesting. And there's still some altcoins that look pretty good to me too, right? As I was saying, even Atom looks strangely tight, like, which is weird. Very, very tight for Atom, right? And there you go, man. Send that puppy now. The key is once you break the 200 on the 1 minute, then we can assess. But look, it's shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder. Now it looks like, I'm doing a great job actually today by not losing money. And just look, they're still at 76.5. They've been at 76.5 the entire live stream. There wasn't a lot of money to be made. Look, I was heavy leveraged. I was positioned properly, and I was only up $480. That was the best I could get out of this day. You see what I'm saying? Now they're reassessing it. And so either you traded an extremely risky small time frame to make money during the session right now. It wasn't a good session compared to our usually Tuesday sessions. It was lackluster. Compared to a Tuesday 10 to 12, this was we got very little price action. All right. I still see it as kind of a bearish retest here. You see? We've got to get back inside that trend line. I see it as a symmetrical triangle that broke down. I gotta have some brand. I gotta have like something locked in low. You know what I mean? So to me, you get back above the trend line, boom, we rip. You get back above the 1 hour 200 moving average, we rip. It's good shoulder, head, shoulder right here. It's still struggling sideways. It's made a bit of a double bottom. See if it can hold 76,376 here on the small time frames. So you set parameters on small time frames, they break that, then you look at the bigger time frame, right? So that's kind of how you work it. Wow, we're still at 76.43. We've been there the entire stream on the 15-minute time frame. Look, this has been the stream right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? And then the 8th candle will start. I mean, so this has been the stream right here. 22 is 10 o'clock, right? I mean, this is, and then so we dumped. I got it to the money. We got heavily in the money. Then we came back, and then we just, look at this. This is literally your day. And you could have been getting in, getting out, getting, I mean, that's, to me, insanity. Looks like a bearish retest to me on the 1 hour time frame, but I felt like we should have gotten paid by now on that short. Considering I started looking at the short at 7 in the morning too. Now it's been 5 hours of nothingness. That can get to you. Chop, 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 chip, chip. Ooh, you know what I mean? Back at 76,400 yet again for Bitcoin. Let me jump back into the chat to see if we can get any relief here. Oh, and I forgot to load Bookmap all the way. I apologize. I kind of don't want to trade this, but I know an expansion move is coming. We could just scalp like a perfect flag on like the 1 hour once we know the move has been made, you know? He said a tsunami comes out of nowhere. Buy the dips, buy the rips, and never sell. Time will come to prove the greatest asset. Selling Bitcoin is the equivalent of selling time. I agree. Yeah. You just hold Bitcoin, it's going to give you so much of your time back. Look at me. I made millions just buying something and holding it. I didn't have to do it. I made more than a lot of guys that worked for Goldman Sachs, worked for all these companies, did all this crazy stuff. Dudes did all these, you know, they did all these rehabs in real estate. And I just held Bitcoin and beat most of these people. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just telling you the truth. Anywhere between 77.5 and the monthly open looks like a good long. Back to the monthly open is what you like, huh? Interesting. Dude, still at 76,457. They are keeping this price. They're doing something with it right now. Wow. What I like about it is you could just clearly see there wasn't a lot of money to be made. So there's nothing I could have done unless I was a magician and I forced it with 100x leverage on a 1 minute time frame, went back and forth and trade like a maniac. Then maybe I could have made a couple thousand. You know what I mean? Like, do the math. Like next time you open up a trade, see how much can I actually make? How much, what is the, you know, how many people are trading? What's the average amount of money a trader can make doing this? $5 yeah, that's so corny. Yeah, get this guy out of here. We're going to hide user on this channel, never to come back again. Yeah. Still in a short, it's going to pump, see? I don't know what it's going to do, man. I have no clue. I've been doing this every day for thousands of days, and I'm willing to admit I have no idea where Bitcoin's going to do. I'm just going to trade whatever it does. Even Bookmap has money both ways. It says a little bit lower, but it's got money on both sides. It can go either way. It really can. It's a little bit more red down here. A little bit more at 76, but it's not even that far away at 75.5. And that is the area that I'm looking for Bitcoin to dump down to. Right? Are we ejecting the 21 on the 5 minute? We've been doing that for a while. We're actually getting back above it. We're actually going to use it. It looks like as support. I think it almost looks like the opposite of what you're saying. But we're in a tight channel now. Now Bitcoin's in a tight channel on the 1 minute. These usually dump. If that means any, you know, it's a symmetrical triangle. Bearishly retested the 200 on the 1 minute. Send this puppy lower, man. Make good entries in good stocks and good crypto and just wait patient and understanding, yeah? It might be a good spoof. They pull it and it goes down. There's a massive order on Bookmap right now below 76.5. Yeah. New 4-hour candle in 30 seconds. Exactly. Let's assess that. Let's just sit here for the 4-hour candle. Why not? ZBCN looks pretty good to me. All right. I would put that on your radar. It's been in a little bit of an uptrend here. All right. Bitcoin's about to pick its direction. I'd say in 2 minutes, you're going to find out whether Bitcoin breaks up or down out of this symmetrical triangle. It could go either way. It's looking like a breakout because it's in more of an uptrend now. So you watch the 1 minute, you're going to know in the next 5 minutes what's going to happen here. Let's assess that 4-hour candle close. So the 4-hour candle just closed. It closed pretty bearish, but had a big wick from the upside, right? Meaning it dipped, but people bought it up. So what you want to see now is you want to see this dip a little bit, then come back up and close a tweezer top. A tweezer bottom, sorry. So far, I did get a bit of a small wick. I'd like a little more, though, right? Spot CDV is rising. We might get a pump here. Yeah, cumulative volume delta at 52.3 even, yeah. The video earnings are tomorrow, everybody, not tonight. Thank you for saying that. Yep. Shout out to the Lord of the Ring vlogs. This looks like you could pump up. Think I was smart to get out of my short, we'll see. I'm using the 21 and the 2, no, just the MA, not the EMAs, no. I don't use the EMAs, I use the MAs. Honestly, whatever you use, if you use them, if for the last 10 years you use EMAs, you'll be just as accurate as the last 10 years I use MAs. It's just whatever you use over and over again, you're going to get better at. It's your brain. People don't realize how much you're in control of these charts. It's the way you assess the situation with the market, not the other way around, right? Someone says, pump it. And again, I could front run the 4-hour now. It's one of my favorite things to do is just front run the 4-hour because it's low risk. You know, like I can get in right here. I can put my stop below like that wick right there. And then just see if I can run up all the way to the next resistance through this gap in the VRVP. That's a 14-1. That's a trade I like to take. So I look at the 4-hour and what I'm doing is I'm front running. I could wait for this candle to close at 4 o'clock today. So it's almost like what I like about the 4-hour too is you got to wait 4 hours sometimes to get into your trade. And that confirmation is important. I do have to say this looks more like a descending triangle though. So even if you bounce back up, maybe you come back down, right? But it looks like we might bounce back up to about 77, 295, something like that into this region. Wow, we're back at 76.5 again. This is crazy. Yeah, I've used the EMA and the 200 MA and EMA together. Yeah. That's what I mean. Chop today and tomorrow. Yeah. I learned MA from you, and EMA to me is just another indicator. I love you, man. Shout out to the real Don D. We might pump and reject resistance of a descending triangle. You can see how clearly we've been back and forth. It was not a lot of money to be made. But I may have smartly got out of that short. Why be in chop if you don't need to be? Why go through the mental pain if you don't need to be in that chop? Right? I took it front ran the 4-hour at 7. You took it. You make me want to jump in with you now. Like, well, he took it, so I should take it. It's funny how quick humans, like when another human does something, I want to do what the other human's doing. Like, I think it's just how humans are. Also, no real wick here at all on the week's chart. No wick at all, really. That's not a good sign. That means we're likely going to dump. If you don't get any wick on that 4-hour candle, not a good sign. There's a little bit of a wick here on the spot, on Binance Spot, but weeks barely, it doesn't show it. Sketchy business right there. Look at the 1 hour though. Also, you know, now it closed its first tweezer bottom. So I like to front run that. I buy right here and just let it run. I do this all the time now. This is like a new way I started trading in the last like 7-8 months to like, let's say a year now. But I just use the 1 hour, assess the way the 1 hour looks, and I just get into it long when I see a tweezer bottom. It's a really simple way to trade. It's not 100 things going on. And bang, we get a move, you know? You might not get all the way up to the support there. I still really see a bearish retest too. Like it's, I'm gonna have to make a decision at one point, but they're making it difficult for most people. And again, just walk away. Let it dump. Miss out on a pump. Like miss out. Like you don't have. When you feel like you have to get it is when they got you by the guts. You know, when you feel like you have to get it. But to me, it looks like a bearish retest. That is a bearish retest as far as I'm concerned. Like, that's how I've assessed it since this morning. That's how it looks to me. Send that to the downside, man. It's a bearish retest, right? I mean, like, how is that not going to dump now? Take profit 74. 483. Stop loss at 77,164. Right? I don't like the risk there. You see, the risk is 269. Like, it's not that amazing. 600 for 18. It ain't the worst. 680 for 1850. Well, I never had so much indecision. Creating the 4-hour wick right now. Definitely a tweezer bottom, please. Monthly has no wick neither. Trust our gut feeling. That's how I trade. Yeah. Said oil is moving. Oil looks good on that 3-day chart, man. On the bigger time frame, that'll take 2-3 weeks to play out. Like it's not going to happen today. You know, the overall move you're looking for. I gotta take the short, man. I just feel like, look at it. This could make the 4-hour wick. I see, like, we could dump now and make the wick come back up. Now we can front run. If front running the red, see, I never front run red. I think I've only done that twice. That's where you make the most money. You buy the risk, but dang, you know. I could really see it go either way. This is crazy. And look what they did the 1 minute now. Like the 1 minute is in such a range. I think my wife's not home. She'd be sitting right here staring at me like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm still live. This has turned into a 5-hour live stream. Wow. Now I could long. Now I could. May God's grace be with you every step you take. You are covered in His blessings always. Thank you. I know, right? Peppy Pig, man, you guys are funny. I mean, look, we have been range bound since 11 o'clock. They're not giving us any love here. So, but we know our entries. We know what we could do. We know the possibilities. We could front run this 4-hour. But we take the bearish retest of the 1 hour. There's the wick on the 4-hour now. That'd be a beautiful front run right now. I like how this is less risk on this idea. I'm gonna have to pick a scenario at one point. Like, I'm the lifer, man. I gotta pick an area. I like this because you don't have to get that high to get a 3-to-1. See, I can go back and forth between a short and a long. You should be able to do this. If you can, then you're going to get wrecked. You can't fall in love with positions. You got to be ready to be able to maneuver. 44 for 1,800. That's a great trade. Look, the second I thought about taking it, they flipped it bearish so fast. Oh my gosh. It was just a green candle a second ago, wasn't it? It's so weird. Now I'm back to being like, yeah, there's the short. Send it down now, right? Obvious bearish retest. Like, there's got to be a reason why my subconscious mind is in confusion. I do this every day, so I'm trusting my subconscious mind, and it's... Dude, that's a descending triangle, man. It's a bearish retest. Like, I'm having a hard time committing, though. I have to commit at one point. My whole life is committing. You see, if I don't commit, then I can't run a trading group. It's insane how much scrutiny you will have on you if you run a trading group, man. It's like, and how many people are going to blame you or not blame you, or, you know. Heck, the other day I posted something in the alt session instead of in the Bitcoin. It's like, I would have gotten that in if you posted in the right place. It's like, dude, I put at everyone. I mean, it tells everyone what I post. Like, but I get it. I mean, it's like, but people will blame me for everything, man. Like, because I'm out here, you can blame me, right? So, because I exist, I can be blamed. Wow, we're still at 76.4. I bought Bitcoin yesterday. That was my trade yesterday. BOOKMAP suggests we go lower, but there's liquidity on either side, and it's actually thinning out now, even on the low side. But it says 75.5 is the most likely predicament. Damn, I was just about to lull on that 4 hour. It looked okay, and now it doesn't. 1 hour actually, you know, did put in the tweezer top, but I'm the guy that can make the call more than most people, man. Everyone's waiting on my call, man. People will blame others no matter what happens. Just ignore them, 100%. Easier to blame than take responsibility, yeah. All I keep seeing is the descending triangle. I like that you just said that because it kind of like freshed my brain. I'm like, dude, it's descending, man. Damn, my foot hurts a little bit today. If it goes from 4 to 6, it's almost a, yeah, it's a $1,700 move, and I get $1,400 out of it. That means I'm lower risk. I'm gonna go short again, man. I'm staying short here. I'm gonna make a last minute move here. I'm gonna go short. Comes back up inside, and I'll flip the other way, but I'm gonna stay short here on this move. All right. RSI up, SRSI down, long, right? Yeah. Love and kindness are never wasted. They always make a difference. Amen. Thank you. All blame, no credit. Story of my life. I care not. Amen, brother. Amen. Something big is coming. Short squeeze incoming, somebody says. I can't tell everyone. I made a decision, but I could tell it could go either way, so... Yeah, because look, wicks here, higher wicks here tell you up, but bearish retest tell you down. Back at 76.4 again. Sam reads the charts. If the charts are too wacky, then the TA has to be wacky. Sam's always spot on. I am pretty much, I have to be honest, for years I've been spot on, man. So something's weird. It's because they're doing something weird. Like we know how the markets move. Like my buddy sold it to a 300,000 Bitcoin oil. In this case, no call is the best call, bro. I agree. Thanks for the stream, Sammy. It really helped me motivated in the morning. Have a blessed day. Yep. The market is shaking people out before the move. Well, the worst comes to worst is I'll cut this trade off 200, flip back long, and then make my money. So I'm prepared for whatever comes our way. Make sure you are too. Always have a stop and always use proper risk management, and you can't get rocked and wrecked. It's pretty much, Sooner or later, the candles will realize they are wrong and move in the current direction. You're funny. So they just closed another candle here now. Now the 1 hour looks like it may bounce. Just one thing will piss me off is a huge move comes and I miss it. That'll get on my nerves. You know what I mean? I pride myself on catching every big move. Someone says ton front running. I see what you're saying a little bit, yeah. Ton's been hot recently comparatively. I actually pulled this too and said watch for it to come back to the 618. It did exactly that. Look at that. Last time it pumped, I said let's wait it out. You don't jump in now. You wait for it to come back to the 618. I mean, that's a possible buy right there for Ton. Dude, I am sweating right now. This price action has me sweating out. And God is able to bless you abundantly so that in all things at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work. 2 Corinthians, yeah. Wow, we're still at 76,450. This is insane. They're just going to keep us in chop until a certain time. You know what? Who cares? We've won so much. Who cares if I don't hit this move? I'm like washing my hands of the insanity, of the mental insanity. Yeah, moves you don't catch are small, and those that you catch are big. Yeah. They spent a lot of time making it look bearish. I see what you're saying. It's like, why are you spending so much time drawing it down, drawing it down, drawing it down? Yeah. He says Supra's been front running the last few days. Someone says bearish retest of the orb and the golden pocket says that the Bitcoin goes down from here. Honestly, I can't tell right now. Bitcoin funding rate is negative again, which actually leads to eventually a massive short squeeze. Every negative funding rate has led to a short squeeze over time, right? This chop gives me more SNR lines than Al Pacino dinner table over. Hey. Anyway, I got to jump on out of here. I could sit here all day and assess this market till it destroys my psyche. So I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing, everyone. Thank you so much for kicking it with the lifer, hanging out with me. Maybe I just wait for confirmation. 1 hour now looks like it's going to bounce. Got a higher low, tweezer bottom. Technically, that's technically a higher low, tweezer bottom of the 1 hour. Looks more bullish than bearish for now, says Roth Trader. Wow. And wow, 57% say 54, 43% say 104 of 950 votes. Anyway, I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Remember, the secret to success is getting started. I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll do it again. They won't grind us out. We'll keep pushing. Thank you so much, everyone. The kind words I got during the stream were unbelievably amazing. You people are God-sent and just the blessing in my life. So, thank you. I don't know. The 1 minute looks like it's going to bounce now. The 1 hour looks like it's going to bounce. It closed the green candle. And it's Tuesday. That's why I'm like obsessed about price right now. I can't tell, folks. To me, it looks more short than long until I further assess. But do whatever makes you happy. I really can't tell at that present moment in time. It looks more bearish than bullish. I gotta reiterate that. Like, I gotta stick to my initial plan. Was bear. We were bear. All right. Yeah. Janny on Solana is a funny name with cool art. Thank you. And we're sitting here at 76, 479 again. It can't seem to leave. Anyway, I love you all. Thank you so much. I'll be in the group throughout the day. Stay blessed. We'll figure this out. God bless. Thank you. The secret to success is getting started.
Just like a fire.